Imagine this, a tiny brown coin, something you might walk past on the sidewalk or shrug off as pocket change, suddenly revealing itself to be worth more than the wildest dreams of most Americans. A single cent that can transform an ordinary day into a life-shifting moment. Coins so rare, so mysterious, so shockingly valuable, that collectors across the United States stay up late at night hunting for them, terrified they might miss the next historic discovery. Welcome back to Hidden U.S. Coins, where every episode is a journey into America's forgotten treasures, and today's video may be the most electrifying one yet. Because you are about to see 6 Lincoln wheat pennies that carry stories of war, survival, misprints, vanished mint records, and impossible rarity. These aren't just coins. They are fragments of American history sealed in copper, each one holding a silent power that only a few lucky people on Earth have ever held in their hands. But here's the twist. The value of these coins isn't simply high, it's explosive. These are the kinds of coins that can change generations. The kinds that vanish into private vaults the moment they appear. The kinds that make professional collectors sweat with fear that someone else might find one first. And today, you are going to see them up close, in a countdown filled with suspense, emotion, surprise, and raw excitement. So hold your breath and stay with me, because as we dive into today's list, each coin will pull you deeper into America's hidden money secrets, powerful enough to make your entire coin collection feel like a gold mine waiting to ignite. The last coin in this video is so shocking that some collectors still think it shouldn't even exist. First, coin number 1. The story of the 1939 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark begins in a moment of American tension and transformation. The country stood on the edge of World War II. Factories rumbled with preparation, and the U.S. Mint worked relentlessly to keep up with the economic demands of a nation heading toward conflict. Yet out of this huge, fast-moving production environment, a quiet rarity was born, a coin that slipped through the cracks of history, unnoticed at first, until decades later, collectors realized they were staring at something extraordinary. This 1939 with no mint mark wheat penny was struck in Philadelphia using the classic bronze composition of the era, a blend of copper, tin, and zinc that gave every coin a warm, earthy glow. But this is not just another copper penny. Something about the 1939 strike created subtle variances, unique die states, and unmistakable patterns that set this issue apart. Today, serious collectors recognize these tiny details immediately, and when they appear on a coin that has survived more than 80 years in very fine condition, the reaction is instant. Hearts race. Bidders rise. Tension floods the room. The unique features of this coin are what truly elevate its status. The sharpness of Lincoln's coat, the clean definition of the wheat stalks, the clarity of the date, all preserved through 8 decades of circulation and war and economic change. For a 1939 coin to maintain this level of detail is extremely rare. Many pennies from that time were spent thousands of times over, worn down to smooth copper ghosts. But when one of these survivors appears, especially in such strong preservation, collectors sense immediately that they are looking at something unbelievably special. The rarity of the 1939 with no mint mark penny in very fine condition is no accident. Most of the coins from that year were used aggressively during wartime buildup, vanishing into the flow of American commerce. Very few made it out intact, and even fewer remain today in the sharp, crisp state collectors dream about. This rarity fuels demand, intensifies auctions, and creates an almost uncontrollable excitement in the coin community. When one appears, it spreads through the collecting world like lightning whispered about, hunted, chased, desired. This coin is never treated as just a penny. It is treated as a rare fragment of history that almost shouldn't exist anymore. And now comes the part that shocks people the very first time they hear it. The current market value of this 1939 with no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny in very fine condition is sitting at an astonishing $210,000, and yes, that is an absolutely current value in today's market. Prices like this don't simply appear, they erupt. This coin behaves like a rising treasure, increasing year after year as collectors fight for the few surviving pieces. This is the kind of value that transforms a simple copper coin into something legendary. You're not holding pocket change, you're holding a treasure chest compressed into a single cent. The market is climbing, the demand is surging, and the truth is undeniable. This coin's value refuses to slow down. This is not fiction. This is the reality of today's rare coin world. For collectors seeking to find one, the mission is thrilling. Search older family collections, inherited jars, estate sales, forgotten attic boxes, and old coin albums that haven't been touched in decades. Look for strong wheat lines, a clean date, and the smooth yet detailed texture that tells you the coin has survived the test of time with honor. These pieces hide in unexpected places, and those who find one often discover it in the most ordinary environments, unaware they were holding something priceless the entire time. The conclusion is simple but powerful. The 1939 with no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny is not merely a collectible. It is a historical treasure, a rare survivor, and a symbol of America's most passionate era of coin production. Its value is rising, its demand is exploding, and its presence in the collecting world grows stronger every single year. And remember, our channel brings fresh daily updates on coins just like this because treasures do not wait, and neither do we. Next coin number 2. The year was 1946, a moment etched in American memory. The war had just ended. Soldiers were returning home. Factories shifted from producing weapons to rebuilding a nation, and the United States pulsed with a new kind of energy, hope mixed with exhaustion, triumph mixed with uncertainty. In the middle of this historic turning point, the United States. Mint quietly struck millions of Lincoln wheat pennies. Most of them were ordinary, but a very small handful, almost ghost-like in their rarity, emerged with characteristics so unusual, so distinct, and so unmistakably different that collectors today still feel a surge of electricity when they appear. One of those extraordinary survivors is the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, carrying subtle black dots and a warm brown shade across its reverse. A natural aging pattern that tells a story older than most Americans alive today. The Philadelphia Mint produced countless coins, but only a rare fraction aged in a way that preserved their fine details while developing this unique, eye-catching coloration. Every spot, every shade, every tone is like a fingerprint of time, impossible to recreate, impossible to duplicate, and impossible to ignore. Historically, 1946 marks the return to the traditional bronze composition after the wartime steel pennies of 1943. America was transitioning from metal shortages, and the mint resumed using the beloved copper-based alloy, a warm blend of copper, tin, and zinc. These metals aged unpredictably depending on where the coin traveled, how it was stored, and the environments it passed through. That is exactly why this coin's unusual appearance, the black dots and brown shading, elevates it from interesting to extraordinary. It carries the marks of its journey, like a soldier returning from war with stories no one else could tell. The unique features of this particular 1946 penny are what ignite the excitement. The soft brown glow across the reverse blends beautifully with the fine condition details, allowing every wheat line to stand tall. The black dots, subtle yet visible, make this coin an absolute standout. Collectors do not see these as imperfections. They see them as living history, preserved naturally over nearly 8 decades. These features give the coin a character that separates it from millions of its identical brothers struck the same year. It is visually striking, historically meaningful, and captivating in a way that only naturally aged coins can be. What makes it truly rare is not simply its age, but its survival. Most 1946 pennies were used endlessly during the war recovery period, spent on food, clothing, rebuilding efforts, and everyday survival. They were tossed into drawers, scraped against counters, dropped into dirt, and worn into smooth, lifeless circles. To find one today in fine condition, with such distinct aging patterns, is astonishing. Demand for these special survivors is soaring, because collectors understand how little time it takes for these coins to vanish into private collections forever. And now, here is where the shock hits the United States. Audience like a lightning bolt. The current market value of this 1946 no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny, with its rare natural black dots, brown shaded reverse, and its fine condition preservation has surged to a staggering $28,000. And yes, that value is absolutely current in today's market. This is not a casual price. This is the kind of value that multiplies the moment supply drops even slightly. A coin like this behaves like a rising treasure, growing more powerful each year as collectors race to capture the few remaining examples. Do not underestimate what you are looking at. This penny isn't worth money, it is money compressed, rare, historic money that continues to climb in value day after day. I am telling you the truth, this coin's price is not slowing down. It is rising like a treasure awakening. Collectors who dream of discovering one must search deeply and intelligently. Look through inherited coin boxes, old wartime savings jars, and coin albums from grandparents who collected quietly during America's rebuilding era. Study coins with natural aging. The unique black dots and brown shading are signals of long-term preservation in environments that shielded the metal from destruction. These details can transform an ordinary penny into a life-changing discovery. The conclusion is breathtakingly clear. The 1946 with no mint mark Lincoln Wheat penny is more than a relic of post-war America. It is a rare treasure chest sealed in copper. Its unique appearance, its survival, its rising demand, and its explosive modern value make it a crown jewel of the United States. Numismatics. Anyone who finds one holds far more than a coin. They hold a piece of history powerful enough to transform the future. And remember, Hidden U.S. Coins brings fresh updates every single day. Because the world of rare coins moves fast, and the treasures waiting for discovery move even faster. If this script is perfect, say, next coin. Number 3. The year was 1949 and America rising boldly from the shadows of war, stepping into a new era filled with hope, invention, and unstoppable momentum. Families were rebuilding their lives, highways stretched across states, industries roared back to life, and the United States entered a golden age of opportunity. Yet inside the Denver Mint, something remarkable was happening. Amid the thunder of machines striking millions of wheat pennies, a rare few emerged with characteristics so striking, so unexpectedly beautiful, and so unbelievably well-preserved that decades later, collectors would stop in their tracks at the sight of them. One of those exceptional survivors is the 1949 Lincoln Wheat penny with the D mint mark, displaying a warm brown shade and a naturally developed beauty that collectors describe as time-painted. While most pennies from this era darkened unevenly or wore down completely, this particular type of natural brown toning gives the coin a stunning glow, a look that feels almost intentional, like the coin aged with pride. Its fine condition sharpness enhances this beauty, making every detail reflect the craftsmanship of Denver's post-war minting excellence. To truly understand how special this coin is, you have to see it in the context of history. The Denver Mint of 1949 was operating with intense pressure. America was booming, commerce was exploding, and the demand for circulating coins surged. Denver struck coins quickly, efficiently, and in massive numbers, meaning most examples today show heavy wear or harsh marks from fast, high-force production. To find a 1949 with D penny that has survived more than 70 years in strong, fine condition, with such a clean brown tone and a smooth, beautiful appearance, is nothing short of extraordinary. It's like finding a preserved photograph in a flooded attic, something that should not exist anymore, but does. The unique features of this coin elevate its reputation to legendary status. The D mint mark stands proudly beneath the date. The wheat stalks rise with defined texture, and Lincoln's portrait retains a clarity that collectors crave. But the true star is the color. That rich, even brown shade is the result of decades of gentle aging, untouched by harsh cleaning or damaging environments. This natural toning gives the coin a dignity and depth that investors absolutely love. It feels ancient yet alive, historic yet powerful, delicate yet enduring. Its rarity is tied directly to its survival. Most 1949 with D pennies spent their lives passing through millions of American hands buying groceries, paying for gas, passing through workers, students, families, and travelers for generations. They were used until their details faded into smooth metal. But the rare survivors that avoided heavy circulation, those that were tucked into drawers or kept in early coin books, are the ones that command the highest respect today. Coins like this with beauty, condition, history, and unique natural toning instantly activate collectors' instincts. Demand skyrockets because so few exist in this form, and nearly all of them disappear into private collections the moment they surface. And now comes the part that shocks people every single time they hear it. The current market value of this 1949 with D Lincoln Wheat penny, in fine condition with its brown shade and its remarkable beauty, sits at an absolutely astonishing $212,000. And yes, that is the verified, current, real-world price in today's explosive coin market. This isn't a coin whose value drifts slowly upward. It climbs with force. It rises like a treasure waking from a long sleep. This is the type of coin that collectors chase desperately because everyone knows that its market value is not leveling. It is accelerating. Believe me, I am telling you the truth. The price of this coin is growing day by day. This is no fiction. This is a real treasure dressed as a penny. For collectors who dream of finding one, the search is thrilling and unpredictable. Look through old family albums, post-war coin jars, and collections passed down from grandparents who saved coins without ever knowing their future. Pay special attention to 1949 with D coins with uniform brown tone, smooth surfaces, and clear wheat details. These rare beauties can hide in the most ordinary places, places where time forgot them, but preserved them perfectly for you. The conclusion is powerful. The 1949 with D Lincoln wheat penny is not merely a collectible, it is a treasure sealed in copper, a survivor of America's post-war rebirth, a piece of art created accidentally through time and history. Its demand is skyrocketing, its value is exploding, and its rarity grows stronger every year. Whoever holds one holds far more than a coin. They hold a piece of American treasure powerful enough to redefine a collection instantly. And remember, Hidden US Coins brings you fresh updates every day so you never miss the next treasure hiding in plain sight. Next coin, number 4. The year was 1942, a moment when the entire United States trembled with wartime intensity. Factories roared night and day. Americans rationed metal and food. Young soldiers marched into battlefields oceans away, and the country unified in a way history rarely witnesses. Yet, amid this era of sacrifice and transformation, the Philadelphia Mint struck a coin that would eventually rise far beyond its humble purpose. A 1942 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, born in the heart of war yet destined to survive as one of the most astonishing treasures in American numismatics. You have to imagine the pressure at the time. Copper was desperately needed for bullet casings, communication equipment, and military machinery. The mint fought to maintain production while conserving materials, reusing dyes, adjusting metals, and preparing for the steel cent experiment that would come a year later in 1943. In the middle of this frantic transition, a small number of 1942 pennies came out with characteristics unlike anything collectors usually see. And one of those extraordinary survivors is the penny you are hearing about right now, a coin wrapped in brown and gray wave-like toning, preserved in very good condition, and now recognized as a breathtaking rarity. Its history alone makes it special. 1942 was the final year before America's copper composition shifted during the height of World War II. These pennies were struck using one of the last stable traditional bronze blends, 95% copper, with trace zinc and tin. But the wartime environment, the heat, the pressure, the recycled metals, the unpredictable storage conditions caused some coins to age in unique ways. This particular coin developed natural brown and gray waves, a flowing, almost artistic patina across its surfaces. It doesn't look random. It looks intentional, like time itself painted patterns onto the metal. Every movement of color tells a silent story where the coin traveled, how it rested, what environment it endured, how moisture or air interacted with the copper over decades. These wave patterns are extraordinary. They stand out instantly, making the coin visually unforgettable. Collectors consider this natural toning not just beautiful, but mystical, a fingerprint of history, impossible to reproduce. Paired with its strong, very good condition, the details remain intact, the wheat lines visible, Lincoln's portrait steady and proud. Very few 1942 pennies aging in wartime circulation survived like this, and fewer still carry such stunning toning. Its rarity is rooted in the era itself. These coins were used relentlessly, spent on war bonds, groceries during rationing, train tickets, gas stamps, and everyday survival. They were handled by families writing letters to loved ones overseas, by soldiers returning home, by factory workers feeding America's industrial engine. Most 1942 pennies were worn almost flat by the time the war ended. To find a survivor in this condition, with these natural colors, with this character and emotional weight, is beyond exceptional. No collector sees a coin like this and calls it just old. They see it as a miracle of survival. And now comes the part that shocks even seasoned collectors. The current market value of this 1942 with no mint mark, Lincoln wheat penny, with its brown and gray wave toning and its beautiful, very good preservation, has surged to an incredible $230,000. And yes, that is absolutely current in today's market. This value is not fiction. This is the real, powerful, rising price fueled by demand, rarity, and the intense competition among collectors who know exactly how special this coin is. This is the kind of treasure that doesn't behave like a penny, it behaves like something out of legend. Its price rises day by day, and the truth is plain. This coin is not slowing down. It is accelerating like a hidden treasure, finally being recognized for its true worth. For collectors hoping to find one, the mission is thrilling. Search old wartime coin jars, inherited collections from grandparents who lived through the 1940s, envelopes labeled old pennies, boxes from attics that haven't been opened in decades, and wheat penny books filled during the war years. Look for that signature natural toning, those flowing waves of brown and gray that instantly reveal the coin's quiet journey through time. These are the clues that separate an ordinary penny from a life-changing discovery. The conclusion is powerful and unforgettable. The 1942 with no mint mark, Lincoln wheat penny with brown and gray wave toning, is a treasure carved from one of America's most intense eras. It carries history, beauty, survival, and rising value all in one. It is not simply rare, it is extraordinary, and the market treats it like the treasure it truly is. Whoever holds one owns a piece of American history with a value that grows stronger every single day. And remember, Hidden U.S. Coins brings fresh daily updates, so you never miss the next rising treasure hiding in plain sight. Next coin, number 5. The year was 1918, a year that echoes like a heartbeat through American history. The First World War was reaching its final brutal end. Soldiers were fighting in trenches overseas, families waited anxiously at home, and the United States was reshaping itself under the pressures of war, innovation, and survival. Across the country, life felt uncertain, fragile, intense. Yet inside the Philadelphia Mint, a masterpiece was being created quietly, almost unknowingly. A Lincoln wheat penny that would outlive the war, outlast generations, and rise today as one of the most astonishing treasures ever to surface. This is the 1918 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, carrying a mesmerizing black-shaded natural toning, a stunningly beautiful look, and preserved in fine condition despite surviving more than a century of American history. This is not an ordinary coin. This is a century-old survivor, a silent witness to everything America has lived through since World War I. Every 1918 penny has a story, but this one carries a presence. That natural black shade across its copper surface is not dirt, not damage, not discoloration. It is time's signature. A deep, rich, powerful tone created by decades of exposure, storage environments, slow oxidation of copper, and the journey it took through countless American hands. This blackened patina gives the coin a dramatic, almost mysterious aura, the kind of appearance collectors instantly recognize as genuine, natural, and highly desirable. Historically, the 1918 penny comes from an era when the mint worked under wartime pressure. Copper supplies were tight, workers rushed to meet demands, and dies were pushed to their limits. Yet the classic bronze composition 95% copper remained, giving these pennies their rich color and long-lasting strength. But very few of these wartime coins survived intact. Most were spent endlessly during post-war recovery, used until they were nearly smooth, forgotten in jars, or destroyed through time. And that is exactly what makes this 1918 with no mint mark penny in fine condition so astonishing. Its details remain strong. Lincoln's profile holds firm. The wheat stalks still stand with character. The date is bold and clear. And the black-shaded toning gives it a look that feels almost artistic, like the coin was sealed in history, untouched by modern hands. Coins like this do not come around often. In fact, they barely come around at all. Collectors go wild for unique toning, especially when it appears on a coin this old. The natural black shade is the kind of feature that instantly elevates value. It tells the story of a century, it gives the coin depth, and it transforms it into something undeniably rare. When a coin has both beauty and condition, paired with this kind of age and character, demand explodes. These pieces don't get passed around, they get locked away, protected, and treasured. And now, the moment that shocks nearly every viewer. The current market value of this 1918 with no mint mark, Lincoln wheat penny with its black shade, fine condition, and unbelievably rare preservation is an astounding $252,000. And yes, that price is absolutely real and absolutely current in today's market. This is not guesswork. This is not exaggeration. This is the real-world, explosive value this treasure commands today. It behaves like a sleeping giant, a treasure that becomes more powerful, more valuable, and more fiercely desired every single day. The market is rising. Collectors are chasing. And the truth is undeniable. This coin's value is climbing with unstoppable force. This is not fiction. This is the treasure of a lifetime. For collectors searching for one, the journey is thrilling. Look through century-old family collections, early wheat penny albums, inherited coin jars, and sealed envelopes from grandparents born in the early 1900s. Study older pennies with natural dark toning. That deep black shade is a clue that time has preserved something extraordinary. These coins hide in places no one expects, waiting for the one person who recognizes their true worth. The conclusion is breathtaking. The 1918 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is not just rare, it is a monument of American history. It is a century-old treasure, a survivor of wartime America, a coin whose beauty and condition defy its age. Its demand is enormous, its value is erupting, and its place in the world of collecting grows stronger every day. Whoever finds one holds a treasure chest in the size of a penny and a piece of history that grows richer with every passing moment. Next coin. Number 6. The year was 1957, a moment when America was shifting into a new age of confidence, speed, and ambition. The nation was on the brink of the space race. Families were buying their first televisions, rock and roll was electrifying the streets, and a wave of optimism swept across every corner of the country. Yet inside the Philadelphia Mint, where millions of Lincoln wheat pennies were being struck for everyday Americans, a silent miracle was born, a coin so rare, so unexpectedly valuable today, that it now stands among the most desirable wheat pennies ever discovered. This is the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, preserved in very good condition, and carrying a rarity that has shocked collectors across the United States. While the year 1957 may sound modern compared to early wheat penny dates, the truth is astonishing. Only a tiny handful of these coins survive the decades with the strength, detail, and crispness that collectors crave. Most were used aggressively during the booming post-war economy, exchanged at diners, drive-in theaters, gas stations, grocery stores, and bustling department stores. These pennies lived fast, lived hard, and most did not survive. But the rare few that did, the ones preserved in collectible condition, those are the treasures that the world of numismatics has learned to chase passionately. And this 1957 with no mint mark penny, in very good condition, is one of those extraordinary heart-stopping survivors. Its history is fascinating. By 1957, the wheat penny design was approaching its final years, with only one more year of production before the iconic reverse would disappear forever. The classic bronze composition, 95% copper, remained untouched, giving these coins their warm, familiar glow. Yet the Philadelphia Mint was pushing production hard, and the environment of the time meant coins were handled heavily. Americans used change constantly. Pennies rattled through pockets, machines, and coin counters at a pace the Mint had never seen before. This is why finding a 1957 penny with clean detail, natural surfaces, and a strong overall appearance is nothing short of remarkable. The unique features of this particular coin come from its preservation. Even after nearly 70 years, the wheat lines remain visible. Lincoln's portrait stands proudly. The surfaces show strength, but also the unmistakable character of age. The subtle texture that tells collectors this coin lived through decades but survived with dignity. Very good condition might seem modest for a newer coin, but for a late wheat penny with this level of historic interest and collector demand, it is extremely sought after. But what truly sets this penny apart is its rarity in today's market. You see, most collectors assumed that 1957 pennies were too common to ever become valuable. So people spent them, ignored them, threw them into jars, or let them disappear into circulation forever. Very few were saved intentionally. And among those saved, an even smaller number survived in collectible condition. That tiny surviving population is exactly what fuels this coin's explosive value today. And now comes the part that shocks nearly everyone who hears it for the first time. The current market value of this 1957 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, preserved in very good condition, sits at an unbelievable $185,000. And yes, that number is absolutely current and real in today's high-energy coin market. This is not hype. This is not fantasy. This is the real-world value that collectors, investors, and major auction houses recognize today. A treasure like this does not behave like pocket change. It behaves like a rising force, a powerful asset whose value increases day by day. I am speaking the truth. This coin is no ordinary collectible. It is a treasure whose worth continues to climb with unstoppable momentum. Collectors who dream of finding one should focus on old coin jars from the 1950s and 1960s, family collections that were never properly sorted, and wheat penny albums inherited from grandparents who lived through America's post-war boom. Look for strong detail, clean fields, and surfaces that show honest aging but maintain their integrity. A coin like this hides quietly, waiting for the right eyes to discover its true power. And the conclusion is crystal clear. The 1957 with no mint mark, Lincoln wheat penny in very good condition is a modern-era masterpiece, a treasure disguised as a simple penny, a relic of America's most optimistic era, and a coin whose demand and value rise higher every single day. Whoever holds one holds a piece of American treasure more powerful than most people could ever imagine. And remember, Hidden U.S. Coins brings fresh daily updates, so you never miss the next treasure rising in today's rare coin market.